So most of this trip is just like taking a walk in your backyard. Of course, nothing unusual, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing that you wouldn't see in your own neighborhood. Yeah. Yeah.
Boom! Ha! How will you stand if you don't understand? Boom! Ha! Fight like a man, scriptures in hand.
So today is June the 4th, 2010. It's a special milestone for me on this mission trip because 1 year ago today, I was standing at the border of Canada in Mars Hill, Maine. And now I'm in the middle of Oklahoma. It's a little hotter here. Yeah. But I think this is day 278. You'll notice it's not 365. Well, obviously that's because I'm not counting the month of August, which I took off to go back to Texas for my grandmother's funeral and my high school reunion and stuff. And then the month of February, I took that off too to go down to Pensacola, Florida and enjoy the Super Bowl with some New Orleans Saints fans down there. For a long time, I followed the Appalachian Trail. I was on it and I followed next to it, so I was on and off it all the way until I crossed the Hudson in New York. Then from there, I dipped down through Philadelphia so I could get down into Delaware and marched through Washington, D.C. From there, I ended up getting on Route 50, which is known as the backbone of America. I followed 50 all the way until I finally got to St. Louis. And then from St. Louis, I hopped on the Katy Trail, which is this old railroad, the Katy Railroad, that they tore out the tracks and they turned it into a biking and hiking path. And so I took that all of the way to Jefferson City, Missouri. Once I got there, I turned left on Route 54, went down through Lake of the Ozarks until I got into the corner of Kansas, and then dipped down into Oklahoma, and now I'm following Route 66. I'm in the middle of Oklahoma. I'm on the west side of Tulsa. Eventually, I'll be going through, I think, Amarillo, Texas, or at least the Panhandle. Maybe I'll swing a little higher than Amarillo, because I really want to get up into Colorado. So I'll be skating the border of Colorado and New Mexico until I get to the border of Utah and Arizona, and I'll skate that border too, until I finally come to Vegas, and then all the way down into LA, where I will turn left, and I will ride the beach all the way down to San Diego into the border of Mexico. The name of the mission trip is called Coast to Coast for Christ. Alright, so that means that you have to start from one coast of America and walk to the other coast. Seems pretty simple, right? But no, unfortunately a lot of people get confused and they think that I'm from Maine, or they ask me the question, so what part of Canada are you from? So for those of you who don't know, my name is Daniel. I was born and raised in a little town in Texas. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called Dallas. Yes. I finally became a Christian at the age of 24. I got a job at a summer camp in New Mexico called Philmont Scout Ranch. And so I worked out there for 4 summers, the summer of 95, 96, 97, and 98. So after that, I moved up to Colorado Springs because I went up there for Bible college and ended up living there for about 5 years. And once I was done, I moved to Pensacola, Florida to go work in a ministry. I worked out there for 5 years. And now here I am, walking across America for the cause of Christ. Weird, huh? So initially, I am a Texan. Yes. And you know what they say, you can always tell a Texan. You can't tell them much, but you can always tell them. Not only was I born in America, which is the home of egocentric, self-centered pride, but I was born in Texas, so there it's like doubly so. And on top of that, I was born a Leo. Holy cow. But good news, God can even save people like me. So thankfully I am free from the bonds of my past, and I'm no longer identified by what I once was. So now, I may be in the world, but I'm not of it. And with what little time I have left on this planet, I want to make sure that I try to reach out with the truth to everybody that I can. Because seriously, what kind of friend would I be if I didn't? This is not an episode of Survivor. Now, we're not trying to sabotage each other and win immunity and get everybody else kicked off the island so we can win. No, the truth is, there's immunity enough to go around to everybody. So this isn't Survivor, this is Lost, where if we don't live together, we die alone. I've made it to my 19th state, which is Oklahoma. I am still Forrest Gumping it, but of course I don't have the Forrest Gump following, and I'm not running, I am walking. So far I've been about 2,300 miles, just over that, and I've got about 1,700 left to go. I'm on my third pair of shoes, my third pair of pants, and my first backpack. Still using the same backpack that my grandfather got for me on my first Boy Scout camping trip back in 1986. So the pack fits me a little different than it used to, but it still works and I like it. I cover about 3 miles an hour. I cover usually at least 75 miles a week. I've had the privilege of getting to speak at Sunday church services, Sunday night services, Wednesday night Bible studies, children's church, Awanas Club meetings, youth groups, and I'm walking across the country for the cause of Christ, so there's no denominational line with that. Okay, I like to tell people that whatever denomination Jesus is, that's the one I am. From Church of Christ to Lutherans, to Presbyterians, to Baptists, to Methodists, you name it, I've pretty much gotten to see it and experience it, and in a lot of cases even get to talk there. I do not have a wife, I do not have any kids, and no, I am not independently wealthy so that I can just take off work and do something like this. This is a walk of faith, so to speak. So I'm just out there doing it, and I'm trusting God to provide for me, and so far, He's pretty trustworthy. Now, sponsors. People ask me about sponsors. You know, I'll tell you, Way of the Master Ministries with Ray Comfort and Kirk Cameron, they supply me with free gospel tracts, which is really awesome because they have the best gospel tracts. Another one of my sponsors is The Creation Store out of Pensacola, Florida. Now they supply me with free DVDs. It's a Creation Seminar DVD and also the Truth About the Dinosaurs DVD, which is my favorite dinosaur video of all time. Now another sponsor that I have for this is Caruso, the Christian t-shirt company. And so they saw a couple of my videos on YouTube and saw me wearing their shirts, and then they contacted me and said, hey, would you like some more shirts? And then this shirt I have right here, this is from Answers in Genesis, from the Creation Museum. As I hiked through there, they gave me a shirt. They gave me some resources, let me hang out there for a few days, and it was very refreshing and a lot of fun. And I hope to go back there many more times and take a lot of people out there too. That would be cool. Now the website is an interesting thing. We have thetruthgroup.com. Now the Truth Group website is pretty basic if you've looked at it. Well, that's because I'm the one who designed it. But I'm not called to be a site builder, obviously. And I'm too busy to build sites, even if I could. I'm out here hiking and making videos and talking to people and trying to get sleep and showers every once in a while. So now with the Coast to Coast for Christ website, it's a better format. You can go look at it right now, and so the template is there and it's starting to look nice, but it's got no content to it. So one of these days I'll be able to sit down and start adding some content, but as of right this moment, it's still under construction. The blog at this point is still kind of a joke, unfortunately. So if you want to read about some of my adventures in Maine, you can tune into the blog and read all about it. But if you want to find out about the other 18 states that I've been walking through, it's going to have to wait a little while until I get around to it. Now I don't do any advertising on my own. I just man the YouTube channel and upload videos and update all the website stuff. And I just go. So what little media attention I do get is usually generated by just ordinary people that are just excited about what I'm doing, and so they want to call up the paper, call up the local news, and they advertise for me and try to get a story. I think it's been a pretty good year. It's been a lot of fun. I've got to talk to a lot of people. I've got to see and do a lot of really neat things, and hopefully to some extent I've made a difference for the kingdom of God. So stay tuned. Until next time, I'm Daniel, and this has been Coast to Coast for Christ. 1 year and counting.